Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video I'm going to do a tutorial for you on this makeup look. This is a look that I wore in a couple of videos about a month ago. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to make the tutorial. I didn't actually film the eyeshadow when I did it, and so it's been kind of on the back burner and something that I've been meaning to get to and finally have gotten around to it. So this eyeshadow look I did using the Smashbox Cover Shot palette in Ablaze. This is a beautiful, warm, super warm palette. I actually picked this up just before the holidays in the Drawn In Decked Out Shadow and Highlight set. This is a great set, really great value. This is still available, and you get 3 palettes for $39 where normally this Ablaze palette retails for $29. I've been using all the palettes for months now and I absolutely love them. They blend really well, the color payout is really great, and they last all day. And of course all the tips and tricks will be for the hooded eyes, which now that I've been using the NuFace so much, I don't really have like the hoods laying on my eyelashes like I used to, but still the technique that I use does kind of help to disguise your hood. So just getting the eyeshadow, you know, like way in there and digging it, the darkest colors into the crease, but doing a nice medium transition color above really helps to disguise anything that's puffy or kind of falling forward as we get older. So let's hop right into the tutorial. I'm going to start with the eyes first. I like to put my makeup on that way so that if there's any fallout I can just brush it away and it doesn't ruin my foundation. So the first step is always to apply my eyeshadow primer. I use Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is great especially for people whose eyelids are less than perfect, who maybe are a little saggy, a little crepey. It really helps to smooth out the eyelids and give you a nice perfect palette for applying your eyeshadow. I just press that all over my lids with the tips of my fingers, but it can crease a little bit if you put on too much, so I always make sure that I just rub my finger across the center of my crease to remove any excess primer so that I won't get a crease there. This will keep my eyeshadow crease-free and in place all day. Next, I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics All Over Shader brush and Relaxed from the palette. I'm going to pat that on the movable part of my lid so that I have a nice light base coat towards the inner corner of my eye and on the lower part of the lid. And then I'm going to take that and spread it up above the crease so that I have a nice thin coat of powder that I can blend all the other eyeshadows into. This also helps to even out the skin tone of the eyelid and disguise any veins or freckles that are there. Next, I'm going to pick up the color Nirvana with my MAC 221 brush. I'm just taking the tiniest bit of pigment on the tip of the brush, tapping it off. I find that it helps to hold the brush by the end rather than up close to the bristles. By the end, it gives you a lighter touch. So I'm just digging the brush into the farthest outside corner of my eye at the deepest part of the crease. That's where I want to start using any color from that's medium to a dark shade and just working with the tiniest little circular motions, just starting to blend it out there. Want to make sure that you keep an imaginary line between the outer corner of your eye and the outer corner of your eyebrow, and your eyeshadow shouldn't go below that. Everything should be inside that line and keeping kind of an upward angled shape, and then going across, creating that outer V. Next, I'm going to use my Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush and just give that a little blend. Next, I'm using my Sigma E56 brush and the color Throwback, and I'm just patting my brush into the pan, picking up color on one side of the brush only, and then I'm just tapping that color at the outer corner of my eyelid, working back and forth into the palette and building up color at the outer third of my eyelid. Going back to the Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blending Brush and blending that out using small circular motions and keeping the brush deep into the crease. I don't want to bring that too high up above the crease. I do want it to get a little bit up there so that it does help to disguise the skin that folds forward above the crease. And then I'm also drawing that down below my lower lashes. Next, I'm going to use my Sigma E47 brush and the color Torch. I'm going to, again, just pick up color using the one side of the brush, tap it off, and I'm going to apply that to the center of my eyelid below the crease. I'm going to go back to my Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blender, and I'm just going to blend that out. Picking up a little bit with my finger, I'm going to use Moccasin and just put that at the inner corner of my eye to bring some lightness there. And then back to the Pro Tapered Blending Brush again to blend that out as well. I'm going to use the same brush again and the color Dark Horse. And I'm going to apply a little bit of that dark brown color at the outer corner to deepen up the look at the outer corner and add more depth to it. So I'm just working that color at an angle from the deepest part of the crease down to the eyelashes. And then using the Beauty Junkies Pro Taper blending brush again, just blending that out with small circular motions. And then the eyeshadow's done. I'm going to use my Sonia Kashuk number 129 brush to wipe away any fallout. Next we'll move on to eyeliner. First eyeliner for the lower waterline is my Sephora Contour Brushed Metal Gel Eyeliner. It's waterproof and it's in the color Silver Coin. I just run that along my lower lash line. Then I'm going to use my Sephora Contour Pencil in Tiramisu, and that's also waterproof, and I'm going to run that along my upper waterline from the inner corner to the outer corner. I'm using the blob technique, which some of you may know about. I just leave a big blob of eyeliner at the outer corner, and then I use a small angled brush to pull the eyeliner out and up towards the outer corner of my eyebrow, and that kind of gives me a little wing or a template for my liquid liner. For the liquid liner today, I'm going to be using Clinique Pretty Easy liquid eyelining pen. Pretty hard to do it on camera, so I'm going to do that off camera, and I will be right back. Last step is mascara. I'm using Estee Lauder Sumptuous Knockout. I'm assuming you guys all know how to put on mascara, so I'm just going to speed through this part. All right, let's move on to the brows. For the eyebrows today, I'm going to use IT Cosmetics Your Brows But Better. And first I'm just going to use the spoolie on one end to comb my brows up, and then I'm just going to use this pencil to fill in my brows and redefine the shape. So my brows tend to be a little bit far apart, so I'm going to draw some hairs on the insides and create more of a rectangular shape at the start. And then I'm going to fill in from the underneath so that it's not such an arch there, make them a little bit fuller. Then I'm going to go starting not at the inner corner, but about a third of the way across, and define the top edge. And then I'm just going to add a little bit onto the tail for the length, and then I'm just going to fill in with the pencil using the lightest little strokes. And this is a nice universal color. And at the end, I'm just going to brush through all that with the spoolie so that it blends it all together and makes it look really natural. And to define the brows a little more, I'm going to use my Sigma E17 brush. Then I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow palette and use the color Relaxed and just define the underside of the brow with that light color. It's not shimmery, but it adds a little highlight at the brow bone. All right, let's start in on the face. For a primer today, I'm going to use Catrice Prime and Fine. This is a mattifying primer that helps a little bit with pores, I think. And so I'm just going to take the tiniest little pea-size amount of that, and I'm just going to put it where I have enlarged pores or some texture to my skin. Just going to rub that in, and I'm going to let it set up for a minute before I go in with the foundation. I'm using Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet. This is my holy grail foundation. I love it. So I just drip about 7 drops of the foundation onto the back of my hand, and then I pick it up with my fingers and I apply this with my fingers. So it's so super easy and so quick. It blends in beautifully and it just gives me the right amount of coverage. Not too heavy. It doesn't look like makeup. It looks very skin-like. So anyway, love this foundation. For the under eye concealer today, I'm using Lancome Effacerne Waterproof Long-Lasting Under Eye Concealer. And I'm putting this on with a travel size Sephora Pro Lip Brush. I love this for applying my under eye concealer. I just squeeze out a little dab on the back of my hand, and then I pick up a tiny amount with the brush. And as you can see, I don't really use a ton of concealer. You know, once you get to be a little bit older, a heavy dose of concealer just makes your wrinkles under your eyes be accentuated, and so I use the tiniest amount of concealer I can get away with, and then I just use my finger to press it in and spread it from the inner corner to the outer corner. My favorite setting powder is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores HD powder. I just sprinkle a little bit in the cap, and then I use my e.l.f. blush brush to pick up a little bit of the powder. I tap it off back into the cap so all the excess falls back in. And then I just press the little bit that's left on the brush underneath my eyes. I use a little bit more of the powder to smooth out the skin between my eyebrows. I put it on wherever I have enlarged pores or textured skin. I find that this really helps the skin to look a lot smoother. And then once the brush is pretty much empty, I just go back over the places that I put it and dust away any excess powder. For bronzer and blush today, I'm going to be using the Flawlessly Ever After palette from Makeup Geek in Fair Lady. I'm using my MAC 137 brush and dipping into the bronzer and quickly and easily kind of contour slash bronze. So I start up at my hairline, and using this fluffy brush, I just kind of fluff it around my hairline, drawing it in a diagonal line from the center of my forehead down to the outside of my eyebrows. Then I put a little bit more at the bottoms of my cheekbones so that I can create that lift without doing a total contour there, but it still just gives you that little bit of shadow under there to lift the cheekbones. Then I do a little bit underneath my jaw, and with whatever's left on the brush, I don't dip back into the palette. I just do a little quick contouring on the sides of my nose. Then I'm going to use the blush from the same palette, and I start high on my cheekbones at the back towards my hairline and just apply that very subtly, drawing it forward, and then I just blend it towards the front and down into the bronzer. Then for my highlighter, I'm going to use the Smashbox Spotlight palette from the Drawn In Decked Out kit. I'm going to use my Beauty Junkies Pro highlighter brush, and I'm just going to dust that at the tops of my cheekbones. I'm going to put a little bit at the tops of my eyebrows, tip of my nose, and on my chin. All right, I've been letting my lips moisturize, so now I'm just going to remove that with a Q-tip so that I can put on my lip liner, which is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in the color Naked. I'm just going to line my lips with that to even out my lip line. I use the NYX Wonder Pencil. This comes in a couple of different shades, so you get a shade to match your skin tone. I have the medium, and then I apply that outside the lip liner that I just put on at the corners of my mouth to really define and sharpen up those lines. And a lipstick that you guys all liked so much was the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the color Fuel, and this is from the Naked Heat collection. All right, so the finished makeup look I think is really pretty. I think it's really springy. It could actually work for spring or fall, you know, any time of year. I think as long as you coordinate kind of your lipstick and your outfit with your makeup, then it will look good. Like if I was wearing a super cool colored sweater, I think that this wouldn't go so well. So anyway, I think I'll do a video on coordinating your makeup look with your clothes and what's warm and what's cool, because I do get a lot of questions about that from time to time. And so give this video a thumbs up if you want to see that, and of course subscribe to my channel. As always, I really appreciate your time and thank you so much for watching. So have a great day everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.